Hello. Yes, we are here and we are live. And I'm Méganne. I'm so happy to be here. So obviously we've recorded the holiday show. Yeah. And it's not like it didn't go off without a hitch. There was some lighting issues. I don't know what it is. Don't know what it is, but it's not consistent every week. And that's what I mean by I need a team. Just like children need a village, Méganne needs a team. But I've got something special for you all today. We've got Chasity Snow, the veterinarian, who's also one of the best impressionists of animals in the social media world, right? Especially on TikTok. And so this is really exciting. She was on our show last week, and she's going to be doing our live and answering some of our questions, which I'm so excited about. So I just need to make sure that I've got certain things done properly. Like, for instance, I got to have my name in there. That's not done quite just yet, so obviously makes it. But she'll be in very, very soon. I just wanted to talk about a few things first. One of the stories that I was really interested in that we hadn't had a chance to talk about this week was, have you heard this? A child in Uganda was swallowed whole by a hippo. Absolutely whole by a hippo. And guess what happens? You'll never ever guess. It's crazy. It's a crazy story. Let me share the screen with you all right now. And okay, so I'm sharing the screen, but I'm not seeing what I'm trying to see. That's not good, is it? Let's see if that changes it. We're still on the lookout for the screen that we're trying to share. Oh, there it is. Oh my God, cute little child from Uganda. Swallowed whole. Look at the headline. This is in the UK Daily Mail. It's like a week ago. The hippo swallows a 2-year-old boy whole, then spits him back out alive. That's craziness. So it says here, the 2-year-old boy was swallowed and spat out by a hippo while playing near his home in Uganda. First question. Who's not watching this child? Do you understand that a hippo had a chance to get there, swallow it as the child is playing, and then next thing you know, the child's inside the hippo's mouth. Look at this little beautiful little child, crying, hurt because of the teeth in the hippo's mouth, all right? And then look at the hippo. I'm not sure it's the exact hippo. It looks like a stock image of a hippo. But look at them. Do you know, hippos are very dangerous. They're the most dangerous animals on earth. I'm sure I read that somewhere. Why are hippos so dangerous? The hippopotamus is the world's deadliest large land mammal, killing an estimated 500 people per year in Africa, according to the BBC. And they don't lie. They don't lie. They are aggressive creatures and have very sharp teeth. At up to 2,750 kilograms, the animals can easily crush a human to death. Despite their primarily vegetarian diet, the hippopotamus is extremely aggressive and territorial. I mean, it is huge. So thank goodness for this little boy. Completely, his name is Paul, actually. What they did then is that they brought him to a clinic for treatment, and he miraculously survived. So how this child was saved was that Crispus Gonza, who was nearby, to save the victim after he stoned the hippo and scared it, causing it to release the victim from its mouth. That's the only reason that Paul survived, because of Christmas. Again, watch your children, watch your pets, like eagle eye. Do not leave them too far away from you or from your eyesight. That's all I've got to say, really. It's a shame. I mean, why do all them children have to be eaten like that? Do you know what I'm saying? But anyway, it wasn't eaten, it was spit out. So the hippo didn't get a meal at all. Oh, yeah, it was spit out this time. So thank goodness. That was sheer luck, to be honest. That's a very, very lucky child. One other story before we get to Chasity. Don't want to wait too long. Plus, it's the holiday. I just want to talk about cute things, right? Look, world's cutest dog is completely round. Are you people ready for this one? This one's adorable. Oh, it's putting a smile on my face. Absolutely. Look at this chunky monkey. Isn't it cute? Okay. Aside from the serious issues that I'm having about this little one's diet, I'm sure Chasity can talk about it. Do you know what? Let's bring Chasity in and see what she's got to say. I mean, she's a veterinarian, and so she could definitely let us know what's up with this and how is this bad? Yeah? All right, let's get Chasity in here. Might as well, means what she does for a living, isn't it? So looking, we're scrambling, trying to figure out exactly where is we? Oh, how do I let her in for me? You know what? I'll stop sharing and bring her in for me. That's what I'm doing. All right, Chasity, we're bringing you in because we want an expert opinion. All right. Hello, Chasity.
Hi, sorry, I have to get there's my video. Hi. Oh, let me fix this angle a little bit better here.
How are you, Chasity?
I'm good, thank you. I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, I'm doing well as well. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. I mean, this is a real treat. So because time is so limited, and I know that it was very hard to get you here and all that because you've got a very important job, especially the holiday rush and all that.
I've got the kids occupied, hopefully for a few minutes.
Exactly. So here I thought, I'm looking at this little chunky monkey of a dog, and I thought it was absolutely adorable. And I said, you know what? Let's have Chasity sort of chime in on this one, because this is what you do for a living, isn't it? You're a veterinarian, and
well, I am a technician, so I can't claim the veterinarian.
That's all right. You're still important. You understand that, right? You're still important in my book. You still made it in terms of importance. But what I wanted to talk about is, look, this dog is called the world's cutest dog, but it ain't healthy. You understand? And so here I am thinking, it's cute and all, but I've got reservations. I'm thinking, I don't know. We should be celebrating this. So I just wanted to share this with you, and then we'll go into, while we have you here, right? You're the expert.
I have seen this post. I have seen everybody talking about how fluffy and incredible this dog is. I have never seen it before. I mean, before it became trending. I mean, to me, it just looks like a very fluffy, like Pomeranian mixed with like a poodle, like a miniature poodle almost.
Right. I'm not sure let's see what it says here. It says here that toy poodle, very good, from Japan, is having a ball with the unofficial title of world's cutest dog. I'm surprised because the Japanese are very aware of their diets. And why does it not extend to the pet? Or do you think it's just the fur? Do you think it's just the hair that's fluffy?
Well, I will say that's not a normal coat for a toy poodle. So it's definitely
been combed out. Has it been brushed out?
It's either been extraordinary fluffed out or it's potentially mixed with something else. I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely, I'm sure, a hard pet to groom.
With all that hair. Does it look healthy to you? Does it look healthy to you?
I mean, I would say it looks healthy. I mean, of course, it's fairly hard to tell without examining the teeth and then, looking at, its actual body compared to the hair. But I mean, I would say it does look fairly healthy. I mean, whoever's taking care of it, I believe is probably taking good care of the pet.
All right. Well, I just wanted to show the people this fluffy dog and get an expert to sort of chime in. And thank you so much for doing that. Yeah. It's very gracious of you. I really want to get to asking a few questions of you, Chasity, because we're so very excited to have you. Now, one of the main questions people want to know, I'm sure, and you sort of covered that on the last show that we did, yeah? But for those who didn't see it or whatever, how long have you been doing? So Chasity is really well known on all of social media for doing amazing impressions of animals that she sees in her practice, right?
Yeah. So I would say I've been in this field for going on 10 years, maybe 10 plus years now. So it's given me, I've been all the way to looking and seeing country vet animals. We've seen, of course, more in town type animals. We see a lot of mixes. It's always great to see adoptees, all the personalities, all the mixed personalities. I portray majority of, I guess you could say, as far as like a pure breed type of demeanor, like a Doberman, like a pit bull, a husky. But it's just really neat to see when you see all those different personalities, you can kind of say, if your pet is a mix, if it's like a pit lab mix, you can say that's my baby. It's a personality of all those characteristics, and I think that's really neat to kind of have learned over the years that it's sometimes a lot of owners come in not knowing what breed their animal is, and we can just sometimes look at it by their demeanor, how they act, their personalities, and say, well, we can tell you what it's mixed with. Yeah, so it's a really rewarding and neat experience in my line of work, I will say.
Do you know, I'm not going to brag or anything, but I used to work in an office, and I used to imitate the people that would come in or that worked there, and so it kind of reminded me of all of that. It's like, it's like within the office, and then it gets really big, and people are like, well, you're really good at it. And I'm like, yes, I do gym really well, don't I? And so here you are doing pit bulls, and you're doing I really love the husky. I love a talkative dog, the Malamutes, the huskies and all that. Them love to talk, don't they?
Oh, they love to talk. Yes, Malamute is still one that I have to do. I've had a lot of requests for that one, so that is on the list as well. I feel like the list keeps growing. Someone told me the other day about a coconut. It was something coconut husky.
Really?
I've never heard of it before. Never heard of it before, and then I had to look it up, and it kind of looks like a husky, almost like shepherd, like kind of combination, I would say. But very beautiful, very beautiful.
Really?
Never heard of it before. Down south, we don't have a lot of purebreds coming.
Oh yes, so. You are in. Is it South Carolina?
Yes.
Nice. And are you supposed to be preparing for some sort of storm or something, or no? You're not you.
I don't think we're gonna get we get a little bit of rain, but as far as like snowstorms go, it's very rare we get any, like even barely a dusting.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
It's sad. I would love for some snow. The Huskies and all the fluffy dogs would love it down here.
Absolutely. And I also loved your chow chow. And I understand that growing up you had a chow chow, and so that's probably how is that like your real first impression, you think?
We had her for many years. Her name was Bear. And we called her Bear because she was a big, fluffy, black and chocolate chow. And she was sweet around us. She was always very gentle when I was a kid. But when it came to the veterinarian, or it came for us to try to trim her nails at home, she would not have it. She would grit her teeth at us and have the meanest looking jaws you've ever seen. Now, she never bit us, but she would let us know she didn't like it. So
well, that's what you said. I remember you saying this in one of your TikToks, that they don't like to have their nails trimmed specifically.
They don't. The paws. It's just a lot of them don't like you to touch the paws, but otherwise they're very sweet and loving animals. So I will say that.
Can we explain what that's about? Is because it's tender? It's the vulnerable spot? Is that what it is, or?
Well,
it's just rude. What is it?
I will say it's a chow can be more on the protective side. We've had situations where we've had, random people come into the yard, and our chow had always been super protective. So I think it's more, they have a certain way, and then they don't want you to kind of, I guess, mess with what they like and what they don't like. Now, I will say it's not every chow, but majority of the chows that we've come across are very sensitive to some areas. Maybe it's their ears, maybe it's their paws, whatever it may be. There's an area usually where it's a no. But yeah, it's even other breeds. It's not limited to chows, but it's other breeds I've interacted with, that if you're not starting with them as puppies, playing with their paws, touching their paws, getting them used to it, nail trims can become difficult as they get older because they're not used to you touching their paws, Yeah. And I guess it's just more of a, they're just not familiar.
So you recommend, you recommend that people play with the puppy's paws so that they can be used to them.
So touched. Like if they're laying in your lap or something, just kind of rub their paws, get them kind of used to it, because you'll notice that whenever you try to touch your pet's paws, if they're not used to it, they pull away. They're like, what are you doing? But I don't know, it could be super sensitive to them. I'm not really sure, but it's definitely something. It's like when they're eating, food aggression, that's another thing that's really good to teach them as puppies, like put your hands in the food, let them know that, like, if you put your hands there and, sometimes they'll growl, that's not okay. You want to be able to interact with your pet's food and, stuff like that without them biting your hand off. But yeah, it's just little things like that can kind of help as far as in the future goes, to have a pet that's easier to handle, in a sense, that if they have certain demands, I would say.
Oh, very nice. Now, I've heard that, I must say that for somebody that, what I've heard is that you were actually bitten by a dog as a child. Several times. And then you still went into the field, knowing you'd be dealing with them animals. I think that's amazing. Right?
Yes, I actually, it was a Great Pyrenees. It was a family pet we grew up with. His name was Baron. I was probably under 4 years old when it happened. His name is what? Baron.
You may not have liked the name.
It was not, of course, it was not a name.
You may not have liked it.
But he was older, and he had, he was starting to lose his hearing, his eyesight, all that. And it was just a part of carelessness and a learning situation where I went to go touch him fairly quickly from behind, and it scared him. So he turned around and snapped, and he got me right under my eye.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, I had to. It was such a thin area that I had to get what they call butterfly stitches there. But it didn't stop me. I'd always loved animals. And then I volunteered before I even got at shelters, before I even got into a veterinary practice, because I was so eager to get in that field that I was doing everything I possibly could to not only learn the animals, but I mean, to learn what it took to take care of them. It's a lot. It's a lot of information to learn.
That is wonderful. And can I just, okay, I've got a little bit of a, I'm feeling a little bit naughty. Now, I'm imagining you having a conversation with like a husky. Has that ever happened?
Oh yeah.
Does the husky go, wait a minute, do you understand me? Or we speak the same language?
I swear it's like it's you make eye contact with them, you tell them I know exactly and they just have a field day. For example, we have a husky that's the manager's dog that stays at the clinic a lot of the times. And whenever I go help walk dogs or whatever we have going on, I will go back there and have a full-on conversation with him, and he loves it.
What does that look like?
I will be talking to him and just letting him talk back with me, and it's fun. It's fun.
So can I ask you, if he said, what would you say back?
You can't have any more food. That's what he's telling me typically. He eats that food so fast, by the time I put the bowl down, it's gone. And he's talking to me wanting more. And I'm like, sir, I can't give you no more.
Oh my goodness. I love this. So now, Chasity, with all of your impressions, now what is next for you? What do you foresee?
So what I'm doing currently, and I have just I'm in the very baby steps of starting, is car rides with breeds. So that is when we did COVID, I will say, with the whole we were a no owner can come in type of situation during COVID, because we were trying to protect the autoimmune staff, and it was still something everybody was learning, as into how dangerous it was, that sort of thing. So before the vaccinations became readily available and everything, we were wearing masks, and we would go get the pets from the vehicles and bring them inside for whatever care they needed, and then bring them back to the owners. So it was a very another learning experience that I had, was learning about the animals that liked being in a car and the ones that didn't. So that is a new series that I have started, and I've done this one a little differently, where I'm doing the personalities, but I am speaking as if I were them. And so far, everyone seems to like the new series. So after Christmas, I'm hoping to get back at it and post some more and see what else I can come up with. I don't know if you're familiar. I think his TikTok username is Chauncey Dev. He does the other animal impressions. He's the guy version, basically, of me. And I think he's got like over 1 million followers, and he's putting out content. Like, that's what he does all the time. So
wow.
It's hard to sometimes do original work, I will say, especially when you've got TikTokers and people on social media who have time to just do it, all
day. In fact, that's what they do for a living.
Right. So I will say I'm being careful. I'm trying to come up with original content, and so far everybody seems to be liking it. So it's been fun.
Nice. Now, do you do impressions of other animals? Because I mean, you must see other animals in your practice, correct?
So currently where I'm at, we only see cats and dogs. Now I have for a country veterinarian, where we've seen horses, we've seen chickens, goats, bunnies, things along the lines of that. But when it comes to breeds, I will say it's fairly difficult to do those, since I will say the only time that we ever really interacted with them is when they needed, like a health issue or something along the lines of that. The dehorning, the goats we would do, neutering the baby bunnies. The horses, we would do what they call Coggins test on the horses, which is basically just letting them know all diseases are free, clear, that they're good in good standing and such. I wish we could have done more with other animals. I would love to work with exotics. I have not gotten the opportunity yet to work with exotics, but
I'd love to see your impression of an iguana.
Yes, if I could make my eyes go to I feel like I would be perfect for it.
Exactly. So now, I know you probably don't like to play favorites, but what breed is your favorite dog breed?
It's when it comes to this breed, I always play favorites. A golden retriever. I have never met a bad golden retriever. They always come in usually with the best demeanor, the happiest attitudes. They don't care who they see. They're happy to be there.
Can we get a little golden? Perhaps. Can we just get a little?
Basically, and this is, I portrayed them as carrying in a toy. And the thing is that is majority what they do. The golden retrievers are very much comfort animals. They like to have comfort stuffies, comfort blankets. Anybody who owns a golden retriever knows what I'm talking about. So they're not very talkative usually, but this is like a normal, like, hey, they're just coming in with a toy, and they're just wagging their tail, and they're just happy to be there. They're great dogs. They really are.
Nice.
So this is my son's toy.
Thank you for being such a good sport and do the golden, because I know people don't necessarily like to perform on cue. I can completely understand that.
It's something I'm getting used to comfort wise. I guess another thing, if I can say that, a lot of people didn't know, is I record those videos. It's just me, the voice behind the camera and all that. It's me recording it after hours, after work.
Nice.
Just look at on my free time doing it before I go home. And it's a lot of people were shocked to know that I was doing it all. And yeah, I get a little embarrassed. I'm doing my best to just have fun with it and know that it brings other people joy to see me. You know,
I really enjoy it. Thank you. It's an enjoyable thing to watch. It's really good. And now I know you said that cats, it's mostly about their personalities, right? But there's got to be a breed of cat. I know there's like a tabby and all these different types, but you're like, them's a special cats.
So, and unfortunately, I think it's more of just my location in general. We don't see a lot of purebred cats. We're in an area where it's overrun with strays, and as sweet as the strays are, sometimes we don't know what they're mixed with. So, when we do occasionally have purebreds come in, like I have seen once a Russian blue. I have seen a Maine Coon. I want to say I've seen the little, I forget the name of the technical name for them, but the little midget kitties, with the little short paws.
Oh, yes. With the round.
Well, I've seen one in my whole field of working in the South. I've seen one, and it was the cutest thing. But so that's why it may be something that, if I do eventually move on to doing cats breeds, it's probably more so I'm going to have to base it off of videos that I find on the internet, because I don't have a lot of experience with that specific breeds. But I will say that personalities just tend to be easier for me because, sorry, my little was yelling back, because we see all kind of personalities with cats that come in. It doesn't matter what they are doing. They will show their true personalities when they come to the vet.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Chasity. I know the children need you. It's the holiday. And so, no, it's okay. It's beautiful, actually. It's nice to know that you're living a full life, because, they say that a lot of times you guys work so hard, you guys don't really have time for yourselves. And so it's really nice to know that you've got a lot going on, but you're doing it, right? So thanks again, Chasity.
Yes. You're welcome. I had to tell her I'm
coming. Okay. Thanks again, Chasity. And have a great holiday, great evening, and enjoy it all. And thanks. Thanks. All right.
Bye.
Yes. Nice seeing you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, bye. Yes, so that was Chasity Snow, the amazing impressionist that people have been seeing mainly on TikTok. Hopefully you'll see on YouTube, and she's on IG as well. So now she is Snow Chasity Y on IG and Snow Chasity on TikTok. But I'm going to have all that stuff in the description box below. And again, this was great. I hope everyone has an absolutely fabulous holiday. Yes, the little articles were short, but it's time for holiday. It's time for cocoa. It's time for tinsel. Make sure your pets don't have any, but please enjoy your holiday. Please make sure you're safe and have one for me and for the whole crew. All right? And we'll see each other